Well, he's a little off camera now, but he'll be back in a minute. But he's basically doing what he's supposed to be doing, is just calmly walking around in a circle around me. Although there's always a possibility he may decide to wander off to a corner to check things out. Actually, right now, I think he wants to roll. So I'm just going to ask him to move again. Oh, no. There we go. Good boy. Getting a nice relaxed walk out of him is a bit of a challenge. You might have seen that one, as all it took was one point of my arm to get him moving again. And as you can see, he's doing a nice little walk. Not a perfect circle by any chance, but I want you going that way, sir. He's starting to head more directly towards the end of the arena, so we're going to have to correct him a little. And he's actually doing it to a point. No, now he's heading for the corner. I'll be back in a minute. He's clearly off camera right now, but I'll be back. But he's going too fast. We're going to have to work on that. Well, there's a couple ways of dealing with that. Unfortunately, it's not real easy to do in an area this big. Yeah, that's not bad. At least you're paying attention to me, but I didn't ask you to stop, so I'll ask you to go again. Good boy. Keep going. No, not that way. You're going the other way. Thank you. Good man. Oh, keep going. Good boy. I wish he was doing this a little further away from the camera so you get a better view of what's going on here, because although it's not super important that you see what's happening, well, it will be in a minute when I here. He went too fast, so one of the solutions for that is change direction, but that didn't work. He's still trotting. Good boy. There we go. Much better. Now this stuff takes time, and good man. Now I'm showing you this stuff for a reason, not because I'm trying to show you how to fix a horse like this, but this is stuff that you're going to have to do with every horse. Now, there's a couple ways of doing it, and one of them is on lead. I've chosen to not work with a lead with him because of his issues and just the way he was behaving on lead. We weren't making huge progress. We did make some, but not much. And so I decided to try and see how it would work off lead, because that's actually a little bit more natural, and I've talked about this a little bit before, is with horses, hierarchy is determined by who moves who. And once that is established, then when the higher horse comes along and says move, the lower horse moves. In his case, he hasn't done this a lot, so he's still learning. But you see, I didn't even have to use the lunge whip to ask him to move. I just had to point the direction I wanted him to go. And away he went. He's going to go roll over there. That's okay, we'll let him. I'm not working with him at the moment. I'm actually talking to you. Now, like I said, I chose to not use a lead with him because it's a little more natural, and I wanted something that he'd kind of click into a little easier. So we decided to try working off lead. Now, working in something as big as an arena doesn't work particularly well. This would be better in, say, a round pen, but it's still full of snow right now. For those of you that don't understand where I live, believe me, it's melting, but it's not going to be usable for a while. So here we are. We're in here. But what we're going to do here today is, well, pretty much the same thing I was doing yesterday, only yesterday was actually when we had our little breakthrough where we could actually get him to move off a cue. The first couple times I asked him to move, he just went nuts and was cantering around here, bucking and kicking and snorting and just having a fit about things. Within about 10 minutes, I could just do what you just saw me do. I'd point and away he went. And that's how fast things can work with horses when you do things on a level they understand. And like I said, this is very natural to a horse to move when another horse tells it to move. And in this case, well, I'm not a horse, but I'm higher than him. And I have determined that by making him move. And we only had to make him move a couple times before he realized, okay, this guy's boss. We're going to listen to him as long as he's not a jerk, which I try not to be. And now it takes very little. As soon as he knows what I want, away he goes. Now he's not doing things perfect just yet. He's still got some learning to do. And this is really in its infancy because it was, as soon as we got him to respond to our point, that's pretty much where we quit yesterday. So we haven't really gotten any further than that. Originally, I started off here today, had the camera set up over in the corner to catch as much of the arena as possible because I was kind of hoping you'd get to see what transpired at the very beginning of yesterday is where he had a fit, but today when I ask him to move, he doesn't do that. Well, we're briefly back in camera where you can see us, but don't imagine that's going to last for very long. That's the problem with working in an area this big and being a one-man show. Oh, there he goes again. He's off camera now. I don't have anybody to run the camera and follow me or the horse around. And, well, I got to go catch the horse. I have to work with the horse. I have to run the camera. I have to do all the editing. One-man show. This is what you get. He is actually still moving at the moment, so we're not going to bug him. I've mentioned this before in another video. It's where when the horse does what you want, you leave it alone. You don't bug it. See, just doing a nice relaxed walk here. And what's really interesting is he's actually even doing circles around me, which usually they only do that really well after you've worked on lead for a while. Oh, he actually wants to. He's thinking about rolling, but I said, no, I want you to pay attention to me. He stopped, which is not acceptable. I want him to move again. There we go. Nice walk. Very good. But as I was saying before, is this stuff takes time. It doesn't just happen instantly. I mean, I'm going to be working at this for many days. No, pay attention, buddy. Thank you. Very good. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. You'll notice him jerking his head a little bit there. It's because I just tapped him on the nose with the handle of the lunge whip because the nose was getting a little too close. And as I've mentioned before, that is a bit of an issue. And we're not going to take a chance on giving him the opportunity to bite, so nose stays away. You'll also notice that where I'm petting him is a little bit higher up than I've talked about in another video where I said when I talked about petting a horse, I said, you use the safe zone down here. That's where they're a little more comfortable with. In his case, he knows me now, so I'm working my way up, but I'm still keeping it down to the lower part of the neck, because the further up the neck you get, closer to the head, the more likely that they're going to be a little wary of what you're doing. But I just want to show you some of the progress that we're making. He's still more curious about this thing than anything. But still, it's just a case of, I don't want his mouth on everything, so we're going to do something about it. You'll notice that to get him to stop, I just took a step back. I took the pressure off. Now, if I want him to move, I'm going to ask him, and if he doesn't, I'm going to, okay, I don't have to up the pressure. I just have to tell him what I want. No, that's not what I want. I want you going that way. Now, you notice I went off to one side there. I kind of cut him off. That's what I did. He's a little concerned right now. He's trotting instead of walking. He actually was doing a little bit of a prance and a head toss there. He'll slow down in a second when he realizes he wants to make connection with me. There we go. Good man. So when he stops and turns into me, that's good actually, because now you see I just took a step back and I looked at his back end to get it to come over. Now I'm going to come into him and say, good boy. And I'm not really trying to show you a whole lot today, other than just let you know that no matter what state your horse is in, this stuff can be achieved, and it's very natural. I try to do things as natural as possible, because it's easier and it's safer. And I'm not trying to be some kind of, I do natural horsemanship, because there actually is no such thing, by the way. For those of you that haven't watched the video I did on that subject. Oh, you want to go? Okay, get going. Go on. I did not ask him to move. And it's something else that when a horse moves, and we're actually doing multiple things here, because, there we go. He's getting upset now. That's okay. He can get upset if he wants. No, keep going. There we go. Good boy. If the horse wants to move, don't ever bother trying to stop it. You cannot stop a horse from moving. And if it wants to move, just say, okay, fine, you get to move. You get to move lots. He wanted to move, so now he's moving. And look how much he's moving. He's moving a lot. I'm going to keep him moving too, until he decides that, actually I'm going to wait for him to slow down. No, I didn't ask you to stop. You got to do what I ask. Now, I also have to, because of his little attitude he's got, I always have to be very careful to make sure he stays far enough away from me. You'll notice when he came in close to me there, I got my lunge whip right in front of me, and I did not ask you to stop. Get going there, buddy. There we go. Nice relaxed walk, and I didn't have to do a thing to achieve that. I just let him do it. He decided, you know what, this running around like a lunatic's pretty dumb. I'll just walk. There we go. Good man. There we go. I'm just testing something here because his owner was having a problem with his pole. He was getting real flinchy about that, and as you can see, I ran my hand up there and there was no issue. Touched his ear and everything. And their chiropractor, this is where you got to be very careful, because people will tell you things to get your money. And their chiropractor had told them that because he'd had a little incident in the past, it put his pole out of adjustment, and he needed to be fixed. Well, being that they were an equine chiropractor, it doesn't surprise me that they told them that, because that was in their benefit to make money. And I thought I'd just wait and see. I didn't make any comment on the topic. I figured I'd wait until something like now where he's calmed down enough that I actually can run my hand up there, because I don't think that it is actually a physical issue. I thought it was a behavioral one, and he is proving me to be right, is that it is in fact behavioral. It's not physical. Oh, you want to go again? Okay, he moved. He gets to go. And he can go all he wants. When he decides he wants to smarten up and stand still, I'll leave him alone. This is actually something I demonstrated in a... Okay, he just showed me a little indication that maybe he would like to stop. Oh, would you like to stop? Okay. I saw a little kind of checking in with me thing saying, I want to stop. So I'm going to let him stop. But if he tries walking away again, I'm going to put him back to work. And I've demonstrated this a couple times in other videos. But all this stuff, like I said, when it comes to horsemanship, all this stuff goes together. So anyhow, I don't think I'm going to elaborate too much more on any of this. But I just wanted to give you a little update on the progress we're making with him and how he has become a much calmer horse. He's taking cues like he should. He doesn't understand them all very well yet, so he's not near as good as he could be. But he's getting there, and I just wanted to show you that even without a lead on him, we can get him to stand still. We can get him to do whatever we want him to do. As you can see, he's keeping his mouth off me. And I could use this as another example of what I said in my video about personal space. It's very natural. Is he crowding me? Is he bumping into me? Nope. So you can go back. That was not that many videos ago. I did that one. I talked about personal space. And as you can see, it's very natural for the horse to stay out of your space. I've never taught him personal space. Obviously, I don't have a lead on him, so when he looks away, I can't give him a tug. I can't bump him. But if he looks away enough and thinks, oh, I like that spot over there, I'm going to wander off there, well, then I can put him back to work. I can make him move if he wants to move. So there's always options. There's things you can do. I'm just trying to demonstrate a few of them. As you can see, I'm working with them off lead instead of on lead this time. Another option. There's always something that you can do differently. Although there's some things we're still going to do exactly the same as, like I said, with the nose, if that nose gets too close to me, he's going to get a bump in the nose. But guess what? I don't have to do that. Actually, I did do it once with the handle of the lunge whip, but I think that was more than anything his curiosity, wanted to know what this thing was. Not surprising, but at the same time, we still got to continue to have the same rules, and that's part of the consistency thing. Is I'm going to be consistent. Sure, chewing on the handle of that thing isn't going to really matter. It's not going to hurt nothing. It's not going to bother me. But we want him to understand that when I say you keep your mouth off stuff, you keep your mouth off stuff. That's it. We're not going to say, well, this one's okay and that one's not okay, because he doesn't know the difference. I might, but he won't. So it's much better. Oh, he wants to move again? Okay, go ahead, move. He took a step. I don't care. He gets to take a step. He wants to take a step. He gets to take lots of steps. And he's not in as big a hurry this time, but he's just meandering off, so we'll fix that in a second. Okay, that's a little bit more like he did yesterday, but that was actually a bird flying past him that set him off. As you see, when he comes back, he's coming back in a nice slow walk now that he's gotten over that. But that's okay. He's going to learn that if he's willing to stand still for me, I'll leave him alone. There. I actually asked him to stop there. I would have preferred if he turned into me, but that's okay. We're going to work on that. We're at the infancy of this stuff, so we're not going to get too picky on things. Some guys say you got to do things a certain way until you get the exact correct result. And yeah, there's a time and place for that stuff where, if you do it right from the beginning, makes it easier. You don't have to improve it later on. But in his case, because of where he's at mentally, we're going to accept what we get. And we're not going to worry about making things perfect, because already what we're getting out of him is really big. It's a huge accomplishment, and he's made a huge stride. And that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish here. We're not asking for perfection. Good man. So there you go, some just basic stuff, and whatever stage your horse is at, if you take your time, you're going to get there. And it's really not that horribly hard, even with a bit of a problem horse here. You can see that if I take the right steps from right from the beginning, and set some boundaries and keep them firm and fair at all times, the results are actually pretty good. There we go. That's better. I wasn't clear enough. Sorry, buddy. My bad. There you go. That's all there is to it. Just got to be clear, firm, fair. Oh, you want to go somewhere? Okay. I didn't ask you to move, but you can if you want. If he wants to, I mean, that's his choice. There we go. For those of you that were actually paying attention, you probably realize what I did there. But for the rest of you, it'll look pretty cool. Anyhow, you have yourself a good day. Go play with your pony. See, he wants to be with me. I made him move.